Are you ready?
Yes.
From here starts the speaking test. This is the speaking mock test of the International English Language Testing System taking place in Ross IELTS Academy. The candidate is Puriya. The candidate number is 014325. The examiner is Joseph, examiner number 321455. Good afternoon. My name is Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Would you please tell me your full name?
I'm Puriya Mirasa.
And what can I call you?
Call Puriya.
Puriya. Can I see your identification, please?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's begin by part one. In the first part of the exam, I will ask you some personal questions. First, I'd like to ask you about studying. What do you study?
I'm a graduate in civil engineering. I finished studying about 7 years ago, and I've been working as I've been working.
Do you like that subject?
Oh, sure. It's absolutely glamorous. I feel it has given me novel vision to life.
And what would you change about your subject?
Actually, I don't intend to justify myself to have studied the best major to help my life. I've studied diverse subjects in civil engineering, which some of them were not crucial to be an engineer. If I had the chance to change something.
Now, let's move on to talk about music. What's your favorite type of music?
Absolutely, Iranian traditional music is my, it's far much important for me since my grandfather was a myth singer in it.
Can you sing?
Unfortunately not. Nevertheless, I profoundly enthusiastic about how to learn about learning how to sing.
If you could learn a musical instrument, what would it be?
If I were able to learn a musical instrument, it would absolutely be the traditional one, presumably tumbek. It's a kind of musical instrument made by camel skin and unique wood.
Now let's talk about neighbors and neighborhood. Do you like your neighbors?
Of course I do. I'm able to talk for hours about the advantage of having them. However, I don't ever forget good fences make good neighbors.
Are neighbors usually close to each other in your country?
All in all, I would say yes. They usually give each other a hand. However, there are many neighbors who break rules in a neighborhood.
And what is your neighborhood like?
I live in a quiet neighborhood, and fortunately, there are plenty of public facilities like park, supermarket, libraries, hospital.
And that's the end of part one. Let's begin by part two. I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for up to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand? Okay, you can take some paper and a pencil to make notes. And I'd like you to describe a quiz program or game show on TV that you like. And here's your cue card. Your 1 minute preparation time starts now. Your 1 minute preparation time is over, and you can speak right now for up to 2 minutes.
I'd like to talk about this popular quiz program, which is on once a week on TV. It's called Be a Winner. The first time I was aware of this show was when I saw some extract in social media. The show is including 20 diverse general questions, which you gain some money by answering the first one, and then you will double your money by answering another one. And in each steps, you are asked whether leave and withdraw or continue this game. However, if you have a wrong answer, you lose all your money. This quiz program is adorable for me since I obtain useful experience and information whenever I watch that. And this quiz program itself is so celebrated and remarkable.
Do you still watch it?
No, that's finished.
And do you think that there should be more such programs, shows on TV?
Yeah, sure. I'm agree with that. Start again, and this show is very adorable and useful for people.
All right, thank you so much. Your 2 minute time is over. Would you please hand me back the paper, the pen, and the cue card? Now let's move on to part 3, the last part. We've been talking about your favorite game show or quiz on TV, and I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this topic. First, let's consider television. Do people in your country like to watch TV?
I reckon less than before, since TV program in Iran are archaic and drab. Whenever some people who still watching in free time.
And tell me about the types of programs that are generally on television in your country.
The TV program in Iran are not based on fundamental needs of people. There are many types of show on TV. For instance, documentary, drama, comedy, news, and game show. The majority of people still believe they are not interested enough to spend time.
Why do some people like to watch TV on their computer?
I can justify that the main reason is lack of time. People are much busier than before, so sometimes they don't have access to TV. Therefore, they prefer watch TV on their phone or computers.
What is the difference between young people and old people's favorite TV drama?
Young people typically gravitate towards genre like fantasy, teen dramas, or science fictions, and whereas older adults tend to prefer genre historical drama, family sagas, or crime dramas, and with some show with
Why is that the case?
It depends on the culture that's changed nowadays in Iran, I reckon.
Do you think soap opera will have bad influence on children?
Of course I do, since the children is so curious and prone to bad behavior and may mimic them. Parents must be careful, more careful about that.
And have you experienced such a thing in your family?
No, this is my just opinion and guess.
All right, thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test. Now give me 2 minutes to review your performance and we'll get back to you with the feedback.
Do you want to know what band score you'll get in the IELTS speaking test? Perhaps you want to improve your performance and prepare yourself for the real test? Then why not book an online mock test with us that will last for 25 minutes. 12 minutes of the test itself and 13 minutes of comprehensive feedback, plus we'll give you useful tips on how to make your performance better. Remember, all our examiners are especially trained by British Council instructors, so we know how to help you. Join us.
All right, as you know, there are 4 criteria or band descriptors based on which we review your performance and determine your overall band score. Fluency and coherence is the first part. Then we have vocabulary, or what we call lexical resource. Then we have grammar, and then there's pronunciation. So let's begin with fluency and coherence. You did a great job, but you had and faced some long hesitations.
Yes.
And I think you faced some nervousness or you were stressed out. And I'm sure that that was the case and the reason for your long hesitations, but that has definitely marked you down. Try to be confident and relax, speak with confidence, avoid those long hesitations. Of course, some of them were related to language-related hesitations, but mixed with content-related hesitations. Of course, that has affected your overall band score. Try to overcome these issues next time, and I'm sure you can make it. Of course, you were able to speak about familiar and unfamiliar topics, and this is what matters. This will definitely affect your band score positively. So it was very evident from your word choice. Let's just move on to this part, lexical resource, which is your favorite part, I think, because you had a very rich word treasure. You used idiomatic vocabulary, like giving each other hand. Neighbors, you were talking about neighbors, and you said they can give each other's hand. And then you also said gravitate. You used very good words. Of course, you said, I was aware of, nothing that I would be aware of, something like that. You used some colloquial words and language. That's perfect. But try not to use memorized language. And memorized language will mark you down. When you can easily say, people usually tend to do something. Avoid using people gravitate towards, because that will make it seem unnatural. Like that will give me the feeling that you are not a native speaker and you just try to use a memorized language. So avoiding these issues can definitely and easily increase your band score. Try to be natural. Try to use the English language like you use your own mother tongue. So if you remove these little issues, you will easily increase your band score. Sometimes you also have to pay attention to collocations. That's not a big issue. You said they have a wrong answer. What is a better word for having a wrong answer? Providing a wrong answer. So provide an answer. Provide is provide collocations with answers. So collocation does matter for the candidate to increase their band score. So these are the issues you faced with lexical resource. Of course, you did have a good performance. You have a broad vocabulary, rich word treasure, but you need to manage those words and your knowledge in the lexical resource. Grammar, one of your strong points is grammar. You used some complex structure. You use if or conditional sentences easily without any mistake, and that is a great asset you have. Try to expand the usage of complex structures. You say people don't intend to do something. That's great. You said nevertheless. You use some connectives. You have a diverse knowledge of connectives and boosters, which definitely will help you find the next ideas easily. And also, there are some little issues there when it comes to grammar. You said the subject-verb agreement, you need to pay attention. Like when you were talking about plural nouns like TV programs, they are. You said TV program are, without adding an S to the end of program. So, but overall, when it comes to grammar, it's one of your strong points. And also pronunciation is where you also did a great job. But a couple of subtle issues there is studied instead of studied. Not a very long E. They studied.
Yes.
But you said they studied, something like studied, something is studied with something. And sometimes you mispronounce some specific sounds. You say they talked about it without enunciating the sound K, but talked about it. You need to enunciate and speak with clearance. So, or sometimes we have these issues with people who are from Iran. Iranians are not able to pronounce the W, the sound of the W, like winner, wet, water, winner. Iranians usually say winner or water. So try to avoid these mistakes. We're not talking about, when we talk about pronunciation, we're not talking about accent. We're talking about clarity. Clarity. You need to be clear when you speak about any topic, and the ultimate message should be communicated and should be conveyed to the other side. So you need to be clear in speaking. The rise and fall really matters. You were monotonous a little bit, and that stems from the nervousness and stress. If you overcome your stress, these issues are nothing really for you. You have a great command of English. So try to observe the rise and fall, word and sentence stress. If you observe these issues, then you will sound natural, and you will establish a very effective communication with the examiner, and that will lead to a higher band score. Anyways, good luck and see you next time.
I appreciate it.